Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don McArthur here with Dale and Kristy and our special guest, Heather Burton. She's running in Ward 8.
Thank you for inviting me this morning, boys.
Nice.
You're
Well,
welcome.
welcome to the show.
Okay, so you've been out there, you've been knocking on doors. What are they telling you?
Well, they're telling me they would like a change. They would like a more transparent government. And a lot of flooding issues seem to be going on in Ward 8. So let's see if we can correct those issues.
Okay, and how?
Well, I think what we have to do is we have to look at our infrastructure. And I personally think that the process for doing such projects is a little flawed. So maybe we need to look at that and start spending the money where it needs to be spent, and instead of on extravagant projects that the taxpayers just cannot afford right now.
All right, that's fair. Now, you've been involved in the community for some time. You're a member of the Crime Prevention Committee.
Yeah.
You've done that. And we also saw that we've written numerous stories on you about residents adopting parks in their communities. Can you kind of speak to that and just your involvement in the community?
Sure. I started out with putting a neighborhood watch together in my street due to high crime, and that was very successful. And then I decided to be involved with Windsor Crime Prevention Committee. Unfortunately, we had our chairperson be fired, and that has brought my attention back to that. Policies and procedures were not followed during that little issue. So I have been.
What is this, the Crime Prevention Committee?
Yes, the
Okay.
Windsor Citizens Crime Prevention
Okay.
Committee. So there were some issues there, and it has brought my attention back to there for the last few weeks. I'm all about transparency in my platform, and I believe the new government needs to be as well. So there are some things that have come forward in the lawsuit between Mr. Middleton and the city. And again, as I mentioned, the policies and procedures were not followed.
Right.
So that's one aspect that I'm sadly disappointed in. But on another note, I am happy to be a great supporter of the Adopt a Park program.
Yeah.
And how that came about was working with students and youths from the W.G. Davis School in my neighborhood. They had participated in a tree planting, wanted to do more in their neighborhood parks. So I said, well, let's get together and brainstorm. And that's what we came up with. So
Excellent.
that program is coming forth soon at the Parks and Rec Department.
Wonderful.
Okay. You're going up against Bill Mara, right? He's been there for what seems like forever, 20 years minus the 3 when he didn't sort of win the mayoral race, but since 94, so you said it's time for a change. Tough guy to beat with all those signs, all those doors he's knocked on. How are you going to knock him off?
Well, I think in my platform with the transparency, and I think the fact that I bring new, fresh ideas to the table, the residents that I have talked to commend Bill for his time served, but they feel that with his new position at the hospital and with his family, his personal issues with the family, that maybe now is the time for him to devote more time to them and his career at the hospital.
Okay. And are you going to be a full-time counselor? Do you have a full-time job? What is your job?
I will be a full-time counselor. I will not be returning back to work full-time. I believe that the residents of Ward 8 need a full-time counselor, and I believe with the next 4 years ahead of us, we are going to need a council that is going to be in demand. And I believe the issues are going to be so much so that it's going to devote a lot of our time.
Okay. Auditor General. Should we have an Auditor General?
Oh, absolutely. I was saddened to hear that our Auditor General was released from his duties. I believe he was doing a very good job, and I would like to see one come back. In fact, I would support a motion for one to come back.
Okay. And I guess any other big issues in Ward 8? You had flooding. You're all about transparency.
All about transparency. I would like to see economic development happen within the city of Windsor. In Ward 8, we've lost the Walmart in the plaza. It's moved to a new location. The Liquidation World went in there, and it's since has closed. So that plaza and around the Food Basics area at Lozon and Tecumseh is a little bare. Across the street, we've lost the Zellers in the Tecumseh Mall. And then we've lost the Rona as well. So we've lost quite a few of the businesses in Ward 8. Whether those are areas that the new mega hospital site could be looked at, I'm not too sure. I'm not privy to that information. But that has hit Ward 8 very, very hard, along with, our automotive plants in Ward 8, which is the Ford and NEMAC plants. So I would like to see some economic development in the city. I would like to see a solid plan. And I believe if we can tackle that and some of the other issues, we should be very good for the next 4 years.
Awesome. Well, one thing that's been floated for Ward 8 as well is a community center. I guess there isn't one in the ward. Is that something that you would like to see come to fruition, something that you would work towards if elected?
Well, I know when we were building the Fontainebleau Library, the design was fantastic in that in future years we could add a community center to there. In my opinion, it's not a main priority for right now.
Okay.
I would like to see it eventually, but not for 2015. I would like to see our flooding issues being taken care of first. I think that's more important. There are other resources that we could use around in the area. We can maybe talk to the schools or some of the organizations in the area and see if we can maybe form a partnership with them for the time being for the recreation center that we have lost, which was Zadstall Arena.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to put it on a T for you. Sum it up quickly, why they should vote for you, and then we've got to wrap this up.
Okay. Well, I believe that my work within the community speaks for itself. I've always been an advocate for the younger youth people as well as the low-income families. I believe they deserve a voice as well, and I've always been hands-on. And if I'm elected, I will still be hands-on in those communities. So you will see me in those community gardens, digging alongside, planting the vegetables and everything with the residents. So I'm very much for bringing unity and engagement back to this city.
Excellent.
Okay, well, she celebrated her birthday
That's right.
yesterday, so happy belated birthday,
you.
Happy
Heather.
belated birthday.
She's running in Ward 8 against Bill Mara. Thanks for joining us in the Windsor Star News Cafe.